Hi, I'm Chad Stanton. I have several small projects going today. The first one is a set of table legs. The core of each of these legs is made up of 4 boards. I'll then cover the edge of these joints with thin strips. Once the glue dries, I'll plane these down to about an 1/8 inch thick. This not only gives the leg a solid look, but it'll be quarter sawn all the way around. Another advantage to making these legs out of multiple pieces is that the center boards don't have to be perfect. In fact, it's a good way to use wood that would otherwise end up in the scrap bin. Now, it takes a lot of glue to put these parts together, and instead of doing a lot of bottle squeezing, I put my glue in a plastic container. I then use the roller to spread the glue. It acts like a paint roller tray. The ramp is easy to make. It's made out of small scraps of wood, and a little piece on the back here, it acts as a hook to hold the handle. The container then seals tight and keeps the glue fresh for weeks. But if I'm not going to use it for a couple of days, I'll spray a little bit of water in it before closing the lid. Now, I'm often asked how much glue is enough. My answer is simply, if it runs and drips all over, it's too much. And if there's no squeeze out, it's too little. I apply the glue so the grain shows through a little. If the grain is completely hidden by the glue, then it's probably too thick. To keep these parts aligned, I lightly clamp the ends. Then I'll add the main clamps. Although I like to keep my squeeze out to a minimum, it's better to err on the drippy side than to starve the joint. While this glue dries, let me show you another project I'm working on. Spreading glue evenly is a good idea on any joint because it ensures better coverage and tends to reduce squeeze out. Although my fingers are handy glue spreaders, I try to keep them clean because a glue print in the middle of the project, it's not the way I want to leave my mark. For small projects such as this cutting board, I like to use an old comb to spread the glue. But first I notch the teeth of the comb. I like the comb because it spreads the glue evenly. Although I have all the pieces in the clamps, I'm only gluing up 3 or 4 at a time. It takes a little bit longer, but it's easier to achieve a level surface by doing it in sections. For uneven surfaces, I like to use an acid brush to apply my glue. However, I prefer to cut the bristles back to about half to make them a little stiffer. I always use a brush like this when I apply glue to a mortise and tenon or stick and cope joints. It makes it very easy to get into the grooves and into the deep areas. Another common glue-up situation that requires special attention is end grain. End grain joints are notorious for being weak because the end grain acts like a sponge and quickly absorbs the glue. If you have an end grain joint, such as this miter joint, one of the tricks is to double coat it. Let the first coat absorb in for a minute or so, and then add a second coat. The first coat will seal the grain, and the second coat will provide the adhesion. Adding a biscuit or a spline to a miter joint is also a good idea. They add strength and help align the parts. So remember, if you spread your glue evenly, your joint should be picture perfect.